Welcome back in my entrance room that I am trying to fix up. So, I have a ceiling that needs to be painted. As you saw, I did paint the ceiling in my bedroom green, and I love that. So I was going back and forth on the ceiling out here. It needs to be painted because, well, I've lived here I've had the house for 16 years, so there hasn't been smoked in here for 16 years. But it used to be a home where people smoked, and therefore it has stains on the ceiling. It doesn't smell any longer. It has been treated and stuff like that, but it's not pretty, so it needs to be painted. So the rest of the ceilings in the house have been painted white, as you can see here. So I think that's just what I'm going to do out here for now anyway. You know, I might change my plans. I am going with a darker color on some of the walls out here. I still haven't decided on the rest of the walls. I think I'm the kind of person who just needs to see things and feel them and get an idea along the way. And also I can't have too many decisions in my head at one time. I just, one step at a time and see where it takes me. So for right now, I am painting, I have to clean it first and then I'm painting the ceiling. So I guess it's just easier to have a bucket of water. So I don't have to go back and forth with my wet cloth. I might need to vacuum the ceiling first because I do have 1 or 2 spider webs up there. Every time my mom comes over, she's like, "Oh, you have a really big spider web up there that you need to get." She sees them all the time. I don't really see them, probably because my vision is really bad. And I don't really care. One of the reasons I'm just leaning towards painting white is that door here to go into the attic. If I do paint the same color, that's actually the one behind the glass fiber wall covering right here, so you can't actually see the color. I did show it earlier. But if I did go with that color on the ceiling, you would be able to see that door, or you would have to paint it, which I could do that. I'm just leaning towards not doing that. So I have to keep an eye on the clock because I have a meeting with my union. Because I'm not quite sure that all the extra money that I was getting paid for getting wrongfully fired, actually are accurate. So they have to go through. They haven't specified at all on my on the paper, on the document, so I have no idea which is what. And in Denmark you also have what we call, I don't know what you call it, we call it vacation money. So I have 6 weeks of paid vacation, and from my paycheck it says that I have so and so much money left, and then when it went to the vacation account where I have to apply for the money, there's suddenly less. So I can't be certain that I actually got the right amount of money. And since the leader earlier magically made my hours less and just kind of made 60 extra hours disappear. His argument was that when I wasn't there, he gave me a different schedule, so I didn't have to work as much while I wasn't there. So I don't have that extra hours anymore. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did something again where things just magically disappear. So yeah, I need to go to the union, and that's why I have to check up on the time all the time. I did set an alarm, as I usually do, because I can't really sense time. So last night, as I was laying in my bed getting ready to sleep, I forgot what day it was, and so I woke up in a shock. Well, I didn't actually sleep at that point. I was just I sat up and I was in a shock, and I was like, oh my goodness, I forgot my appointment. And then, like, my heart was beating really fast, and I was so sure that I forgot the appointment, and then I was like, oh, it's not until tomorrow. Because I can forget, you know, time and place like no one else. So I'm pretty certain I have ADHD, but I'm waiting for the healthcare department, psychiatric department to contact me so I can get that figured out. I saw that on average boys get diagnosed with ADHD at the age of 6, but women don't until they're like 30 on average, and I'm 44, turning 45 soon. Alright, I'm doing this in sections, so I am not done wiping. I'm just gonna start painting here, and then again, I can't multitask, sorry. And then just wash later, and then paint and wash and paint and wash. It doesn't matter that I get paint on the wall covering, because there's no trim up here and the wall covering hasn't been painted yet, so that's why I kind of thought it was a good idea to start with the ceiling. And I did throw out my old paint suit, and this one turns out to be a different one. I don't even know if the paint, because it's see-through, I don't know if the paint will actually go through. I don't trust it completely. This is, by the way, not the best paint, but it was cheap. And it's the same paint that I have in the rest of my house. So, yeah, it is what it is. I definitely need 2 coats, but I needed 2 coats of the good paint too, so. But it's also very liquidy, so you can't paint too long, then it starts running off the paintbrush. It's already halfway down, and I'm really just putting the tip of it in there. It's hot up here. And I need a small paintbrush to get in close here. I'm calling it a door. I don't actually think this is called a door, you know, up to the attic. But I have to check the dictionary. What is it called? I need a way smaller paintbrush up here. Well, I've actually been asked why I speak English now that I'm Danish on here, and there is actually a very simple explanation for it. So I used to be fluent in English. I lived in America for over 2 periods. I lived there a year and a half, and yeah, so I taught English in school, and then, you know, I didn't think about my language, I just spoke. I didn't think, the words just came to me, and then stress hit, and I kind of lost the ability to speak English. I had the words in me, but I couldn't access them. I knew I could speak English, but yeah. So, for instance, if I wanted to say project, my brain would sometimes substitute the word and say, for instance, projector instead. So sometimes my sentences would just not make sense. And then it was getting better and better and better. And then when I stopped working as an English teacher, because I stopped working altogether, I was just really afraid that I was going to lose what I had built up. So that is actually just a way to keep my language abilities intact, really. So, and now I'm not only keeping them intact, I'm actually also learning a lot of new words, because I didn't do DIY when I lived in America. And you don't really need DIY language when you teach English as a foreign language. So I'm learning a lot of new words. So that's nice. And learning the words of power tools. So, which is my favorite toy, so that's good. All right, new section. I don't hope the light will bother me too much, or the camera. So I had the meeting, and I'm not the only one who thought those numbers and lack of calculations, and yeah, there was nothing on there. The documents that came with my paycheck, so I was not the only one thinking something was wrong, so that's good. So she's working on the case. That's a good thing about being in a union, right? I'm just gonna vacuum. It works. You actually have to test your smoke detectors once a year, and remember to vacuum them so they can detect. I need to take that down as well. Mine works. That's good. I'm very excited about taking down that old light, but not yet. dropped something in my shirt. This is a fresh set of paintbrushes. The others were still wet. And if you use already wet paintbrushes with this very liquidy paint, it's just gonna drip and run faster. So yeah. So that was the first coat, except for over here, but that's in top of the shoe rack, so I can't really get in there. I'm going to move it, so I'll paint later. And behind the lamp, I will take that down and then paint behind there later as well. So next on my list is the corner, or other corners. I'm going to caulk them, and usually when I caulk, I just use my finger, but since this is glass fiber, I'm just gonna use a glove. Oh, it might be dry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's dry. Now I think I'm ready. It did dry. I just opened it back up. So, let's see. Oh, that could have been prettier. Oh, okay. Seriously, viewer. So, in the background, just before Viggo was taking the shoes off the rack, oh my god, I think my hands are too wet. So he was taking down the shoes so he could go and lay, but then Valdemar did something in the next room, and so he went to check that out. So now shoes are just laying on the floor. You know, that's what this dog does. Wow, these are usually easy to put on. Not this time, I guess. Okay, let's see. Oh, that looks good. Wow. Oh, my arm just touched the wall. Wow. I'm digging this. And do you hear that sound? That's still my knee. So I did get an x-ray. They couldn't tell what was wrong. So now we're just waiting to see if it's going to be better. And if not, they're going to do an MRI, I guess, on it. But it is actually better, even though it doesn't sound like it. Ah, don't let go. That is not pretty. Good thing I can smooth it out. I ended up ditching the glove. It was just not working for me. So my hand and forearm are now very itchy because of that. And I'm a mess. I got this all over. Definitely not a professional. I also caulked next to the wall and the door casing because I had sanded that down right here. So I got all 5 corners and around the door up here. So, and I still have caulk left, so that's good. So now it's just a matter of cleaning up a little bit, and then I think that's it. So thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when I'm ready again. It might take a little while because my children and I have a little something that we need to go do. So yeah, but I will be back. So have a nice day. Excuse me? What is it? Caulk up? I think that's caulk. Seriously, that is stiff.